And welcome into Game 7 of the Giles County Little League All-Star Classic, brought to you by Haney Realty and Property Management, your best friend in real estate, as Mason Blaylock will lead off the day for the American League versus Kaysen Stout, your National League starting pitcher, and he will pick up out number 1 on a ground out.
Yeah, first pitch strike there by Stout, throws it right down the middle. Blaylock, who had a good game in that first game, Game 7 here, this is all the marbles right here, Mark. And Blaylock hits it out to Garcia at second base. Garcia, who showed what a great defensive player he was in the first game, able to just corral that ball, throw it over to first, get the first out.
And so that will bring up Braden Underwood, who we believe is the pitcher for the American League. This one will be grounded to first. Going to be a tough play. They'll see if he can outrun him. I don't think he did, indeed. Running it out there for a infield single and a Winterburn and Associates base hit is Underwood.
So Lee, great job there by Lee. I thought that ball might have been one of those tough hoppers to get past him, took a weird hop. But
I think that's going to be Wells. I was going to say for National League, yeah.
Oh, that's National League. Yep, you're correct.
I did the exact same thing the other day. Happens to all of us.
Didn't have the new lineup, threw me off there. But yeah, Wells, great job there in order to keep that. But just great base running there by Underwood.
So that will be your first base runner of the day and bring up Hunter Starling. And look at that. Just like they did in the game the other day. Oh, they moved the base. You can't, the base was not planted well, and Underwood kicks it. But they're going to go ahead and Coach Hughes gives them time, and so that will be a stolen base. We saw them run a lot versus Estrada the other day. They're trying to use that speed to get some runners in scoring position, and it worked this time with the stolen base.
Absolutely, and Underwood showed his speed beating that ground ball out to first base there. And, Garcia made a good throw, just kind of held it a little bit too long there. Kind of popped up and just kind of like a long delivery throw over to second as this one goes wide for ball 2.
One. Is it? I think it's 1-1. Yeah, 1-1, 1 out.
Hey, look at me, Game 7. I've already made 2 mistakes.
Hey, you were good. You're doing great, man. Believe me, the other night I had a couple pretty bad ones, but Wade was willing to forgive me, and so. Wade, by the way, is at CMA Fest, and so if you're wondering why you're not hearing the melodic tones of Wade Neely, it's because he's listening to some melodic tones while he works for Nissan Stadium.
So if you guys can't stand my voice, blame the CMA Fest.
2-1 count here from Stout. This one's going to be fouled off, and we will get our Tennessee Crossroads Realty starting lineups here in just a moment.
Starling up there, playing center field, had a really good game that first time. I believe his last at bat to end that last game, he did have a walk. He had 2 walks that game and a fly out, so he did go 0 for 1 technically, but reached base twice.
This one just outside, full count now, runner on second, 1 out here in Game 7, the decisive Game 7 of this All-Star Classic Series, brought to you by Haney Realty and Property Management.
And Stout has a really good delivery, has a good velocity on his fastball. Always pitches from the stretch, so that's unique. It's going to be a very fast pitcher. As Starling hits it over to second base's head.
And so we'll see if they're going to go ahead. Yep, they will send him. And advancing on the throw is Starling. And so I don't know if you want to throw that one home because you allowed the runner to move up to second and get back in scoring position. But that'll be an RBI base hit brought to you by Winterburn and Associates Insurance for Hunter Starling.
Yeah, very interesting there. I mean, well hit ball there by Starling. Hits it right over. Nothing that Garcia can do at second base, but very interesting on the outfield there. That's why you got to get the ball out of your hand. It's like they almost were watching third, not expecting him to run, almost like but the heads up by the third base coach is sending them, because if they're not going to get that ball into the cutoff man, then you want them to force that throw, and you usually can score that run.
And so I really think the American League wants to get to Stout early here, because if you can get him out of the game, I really don't know who the National League is going to throw next, considering they had to bring in Garcia to win the last game. Now, for the American League, they're in the same situation. I think maybe they probably go to Richardson after they're done with Underwood, but, both teams are really, really low on arms here.
Yeah, it's going to come down to the pitching, like we said, to start Game 6, as Haney drills that down third baseline.
A good piece of hitting, just a little bit too far around on that one for a foul ball, 0-2.
Yeah, it's one of those where you look at him and you go, just straighten that out. Just straighten that out. Heads up there by the third base coach getting out of the way.
Yeah, that could be a dangerous situation there.
Yes, it can. Got a timeout on the play here.
And Randolph heads behind the plate now, and Hughes heads out into the field. Watches that one low and away, and that's going to give Underwood a chance. And, yep, he'll head on down to third on the wild pitch.
Yeah, and if you're the American League.
Oh, excuse me, that's not Underwood. That is Starling. Underwood just scored.
That's correct. Yeah, if if you're the American League, this is how you wanted to start this game. This is exactly what you're looking for here. You got already one run on the board, another run on second, and you're getting into Stout's pitching already.
Good job by Haney there to show some plate discipline. Works it to a 2-2 count. Dawson Lee in the on-deck circle as well.
Yeah, I think that's a lot there. It's like if you can tell your batters, you want to be aggressive, but you want to be smart aggressive. If there's anything that is going to be a ball, hey, let it go. Get into this pitch count here because, like you said, what did we have behind him?
That's one low, full count.
And then, this is best case scenario. You already got a lot of pitches here. I think this is the first full count that we have so far this inning, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
So 3-2 pitch, one out, runner on third, 1-0 American League. And they're going to ring him up looking. That is the first McDonald's strikeout of the day for Stout. Gets Haney, and Lee will head to the plate.
Very good pitch there by Stout. He's tended to throw a lot of balls on the inside of the plate here, and he just painted that one on the outside corner. Especially after throwing two straight balls in a row, to come back and paint that corner on that strike three is huge for Stout.
Here's the pitch to Lee. In there for a strike.
Lee, his last time up to bat, he did have an RBI. He was the one that sack flied it out to center field in that last game to get them up or get them tied.
And Stout quickly works ahead 0-2.
And this is huge for Stout here, especially to have the inning to start off like he did. Now you're up on the count. You're up 2 strikes, no balls. You've lowered your pitch count already. If he can get out on this batter here, even though you threw more pitches than you probably wanted, you can live with that, especially if you can build off what he's doing right here on the mound.
Inside 1-2. This kind of has the same feeling as last game where, Mason Blaylock led off with a triple and then came around to score, and suddenly the pitcher Davis got in trouble but worked out of it. Kind of feels the same way here where you give up a couple base hits, but suddenly you're 1 out away from holding him to just 1 run.
That's absolutely correct, Mark. That's perfectly said.
I flinched there as that one came back up in our
hey, that's okay.
toward us.
and for Lee, that's what you want to do. If you're not putting a strike, getting a strike and putting it out in play, fouling the ball off, that's a pitch that's wasted. You're getting further and deeper into the pitch count.
1-2, 2 outs. Stout versus Lee here. Stout already has 1 strikeout, brought to you by McDonald's. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and he'll have his second McDonald's strikeout of the inning. Gets Lee swinging, and that will do it for the top of the first, 1-0. But rather than going to a commercial break, we're actually going to go ahead and get our sponsor read here for a couple of them. And so Haney Realty and Property Management, your best friend in real estate, has made the video streaming of tonight's game and every game of the Giles County Little League All-Star Classic available. Come on out and watch these Giles County players live, but if you can't, thank Daniel Haney and his team at Haney Realty and Property Management for this live video streaming. And of course, also, we have to get our Tennessee Crossroads Realty starting lineups for each team, Adam. And so we'll get that in just a moment. Remember, Tennessee Crossroads Realty has a great lineup of local realtors you can count on to hit a home run for you. Whether you're buying or selling property, Karen Sorrow, Ronald Story, Kyle Wallace, Brad Phillips, Shelly Goolsby, and Avian Bost make up the All-Stars at Tennessee Crossroad Realty. Visit them at 314 South 1st Street behind the post office at tnhomesforyou.com or call 363-3366. So I'll go ahead and get the one for the National League because I think it'll be a little bit harder for us to call out all of the positions for this one, considering that we actually don't have it on our lineups. But I'm going to go ahead and try the hard work here for you.
Thank you.
And so batting first is Gilberto Garcia, who is playing second. Batting second is your pitcher, Kason Stout. Batting third is your third baseman, Denton Davis. Batting fourth is your catcher, Manuel Estrada. Batting fifth is your shortstop, Ty Edwards. Batting sixth, your left fielder, Nate Edwards. Batting seventh, right center, Rhett Dooley. Batting eighth, left center, Ryan Benton. Batting ninth, your first baseman, Max Wells. And in right field, Dawson Oakley. Hollis Neal, I believe, is batting but not playing the field. So I'll go ahead and let you get the one for the American League.
Yeah, I'll get through this as Garcia steps to the plate. I'll get through this real quick. Leading off for the American League was Mason Blaylock playing second. Pitching was Braden Underwood. Playing center field was Hunter Starling. Catching was Hagan Haney. You had Dawson Lee playing first base. Then you have Everett Chapman playing left field. Then you had Judah Reisner playing third base. Sam Jackson is just going to be a designated hitter this game, be an extra hitter. You have Braxton Richardson playing shortstop. You have Harold Ryder playing left center, and you have Brantley Swimmer playing left center.
Yeah, I think right. Well, shoot.
I think I said two left centers. One of them was right center. I had two
Gotcha,
third bases
yeah,
on it.
yeah.
I forgot. Reisner, the only change this time was Reisner moved up in the lineup, and they basically switched spots. So I think
And
they still
actually,
have
I'm not
third
sure if
base on
their lineup was right because they have Jackson in right field and they don't have Ryder out there. So I think that may actually be where the lineup may have been.
That is because he didn't have a fielding position on the lineup.
Yeah.
We got.
So Jackson is in right field, it appears, based on what I'm seeing out there, I think. And that means that Ryder is your player who is batting but not fielding. So Garcia at the plate, 1-2 versus Underwood. First time this series we've gotten a chance to see Underwood. We heard that he's a pretty good pitcher.
Yeah, he's a tall player. It's got a long delivery, but you'd like to see, it's the thing I talk about, I preach about every time I see baseball, especially pitchers, you got to head 2-1 in the count.
And this one's going to be lined. Ooh, and great hop there by Judah Reisner. Throws it across the diamond, and Dawson Lee scoops it. And I'll tell you, both sides there, from Reisner at third to Lee at first, that was a great play all around.
That was a great play. That's a very hard play. That's why they call them the hot corners, Mark. That is a hot corner right there. That was a hot hit ball. Yeah, I thought it might have went between his legs, but him, and then the Garcia has tons of speed. In order to still make that throw is another hard hit ball down third base.
Can't corral that one, but that will hold him to just a single there on the Winterburn and Associates base hit.
Yeah, just to finish that thought, I mean, this is a shorter field. Garcia showed his speed in the previous games and how fast. So not only to make that, but to make a good throw, good stretch over there by first base in order to get that out too. But good piece of hitting there by Stout. You all say, hey, as a pitcher, help yourself out. Well, when nobody's on base, best thing you can do is put yourself on base.
Absolutely. So a runner on first, one down, 1-0 lead for the American League.
And I think everybody knows it's Game 7, Game 6. There's been a lot of home runs. Like you said, Denton Davis had 2. He's up to bat now the last time, but we haven't really seen anything really pop to the fence except Blaylock's triple. As that one gets behind the catcher, and Stout's going to steal over to second on the wild pitch.
So a runner in scoring position now for the National League. (3-0).
And that's one of those things. I wonder if that kind of got under Underwood. You know, he wishes that ball wouldn't happen. You hate to see 3-0. He could probably just be pitching around Denton.
Oh, and that one's going to roll all the way to the wall. And so that is going to be an RBI, Winterburn and Associates base hit. And a stand-up double for Davis ties the game up 1-1 with one out in the bottom of the first.
Just great piece of hitting there. You like to see the green. That's one thing that always frustrates me when I watch a lot of baseball, especially if you got a hitter like Davis up to bat. They, you know, a lot of times you see on a 3-0 count, they'll take a fastball right down the middle. Davis obviously had the green light there, and look what it paid off, getting a RBI double.
1-0 count. 2-0. And like I said, there's not much behind Underwood in terms of the pitching staff tonight because they burned a lot of guys so far in this series. As a result, they probably can't afford a pop-up, and a great job there by Underwood to catch it and then avoid the sliding catch attempt from Reisner. That'll be 2 outs, but Underwood, they need him to go deep here.
Great body control there by Underwood. I mean, that was a scary play. When I saw Reisner diving for it, I'm like, oh, please don't take his legs out. But he was able to kind of notice that he was going for it and kind of stretch his body over. Like I said, taller kid, able to just kind of reach out and catch over that and dodge that dive there by Reisner. That could have been really bad.
0-1 count. 2 outs. Still a runner in scoring position. 1-1. That one will get away too, and so that will move the runner down to third.
Yeah, and Ty Edwards up to bat was really aggressive on the at the plate the last game. I imagine that none of that's going to change here. I imagine he's going to be looking to hit.
This one popped a mile in the air. 2 different guys are settled under it. Oh, and they really should have called each other off there as Underwood and Haney almost kind of fight over it there for a moment, and they end up unable to make the catch.
Yeah, those are the unfortunate plays that, you know, even if you looked at the last game, if you could have gotten a couple of those where it was kind of some miscommunication, people reached on base, you know, those could have been tide turning in a close game.
This one kind of just reaches out for it, and he's going to put a hit into the outfield. That'll be an RBI base hit. And that Winterburn and Associates insurance hit will take the lead for the National League 2-1.
And that shows exactly what type of hitter Edwards is. He's very aggressive. That's exactly what you want to see a baseball player do, because wonderful plate appearance there by Edwards because he got an outside pitch, and there's not much you can do to pull it. He just kind of gets his barrel on the bat, puts it out in right field, and that's exactly what you want to see.
Due up next is Nate Edwards. And I'll tell you, we talk about in sports how rare it is for a team to come back from down 3-0 in a series, but National League on the verge here in Game 7 of doing just that, Adam.
I can't remember the last team that actually came back at 3-0. Was it the Boston Red Sox against the
in the ALCS?
Yeah, in the ALCS, I think is the last time. I can't even remember a basketball team or anything that came back.
That was probably, what, 2003, 2004?
I believe that's correct, yeah.
Oh, man, I was like 12 years old.
I wasn't much older than you. I think I was still in high school, but I remember I might have just been graduating if it was 2003. And so I remember watching that entire series.
Yeah, it was a great one. This one popped a mile in the air. Haney will try to sell under it, but that one's actually going to hit on our heads there.
And it shows you there, too, what a series this has been. Going back to them fighting back from 3-0. We're sitting here at Game 7. To be compared to a epic game like that will last forever. I mean, these kids are going to remember this moment here and how tight these games have been their entire lives.
2-2. This one grounded. That's a hot shot. Oh, making a great play there is Reisner. He attempts the fielder's choice, but that's going to get in the outfield. And so Jackson loses it for a moment there. They're going to send them all the way around. There's the throw, and that is going to score another run.
Yeah, just unfortunate there. I mean, when you land and you kind of bobble the ball, I know you want to get the out really bad. You just really want to get that out. You want to get out of this inning. But those are the type of plays that can hurt you because then that ball goes in right field, scores a runner from first.
Yeah, and you talked about it too, backing up plays. You know, if the right fielder is in closer, as Rhett Dooley almost kind of a defensive swing there. I think that might have hit him if he hadn't tried to turn on it. But if you're charging that play more, maybe you have a chance to throw it home.
Yep.
But as is, the error there leads to a run and also moves Nate Edwards all the way to third.
Absolutely. And now you got another run just sitting over there on third base.
And this will be a grounder to Blaylock. Blaylock looked a little unsteady there for a moment, but still made it work there as he gets them out of the inning, but not before the National League strikes for 3. We're going to go ahead and take a First Realty Group inning break here as 3-1, the National League leads it on Pulaski Citizen Live.
Haney Realty and Property Management, can I help you?
At Haney Realty and Property Management, we strive to help our clients with listing and buying of homes. Whether it's land, homes, or commercial, we are happy to assist you. We are licensed in Tennessee and Alabama. We're excited to be the title sponsor for the 2024 Giles County Youth Baseball this year for the All-Star Tournament. Give us a call at 931-347-9150. You can visit our website at www.haneyrealtypm.com, or you can come by and see us at 109 South 1st Street, right off the square in Pulaski. Haney Realty and Property Management. We are your best friend in real estate.
For over 50 years, PES Energize has been proudly powering our community in Pulaski and Giles County, Tennessee. We're more than just an electric utility. We also offer internet and phone services. Our commitment to our customers and our community is what sets us apart. We're dedicated to providing safe, reliable, and innovative services. At PES Energize, we believe that serving you is a privilege. We're here for all your energy needs. Visit PESenergize.com or call us today.
And we are back here. 3-1 is your score. The National League has taken the lead here in the bottom of the first inning as we head now to the top of the second after that inning break brought to you by First Realty Group.
Yeah, no, shout out to Mason Blaylock on that play. You know, the ball got hit in. He was our defensive player of the game last time. And like you said, just kind of bobbled it there. But self-aware and just a great throw, knowing he had to get the ball, get out of his hands, and fire to first. Made a beautiful throw to beat the runner. So very heads-up play by Blaylock there. I think he's like, you know what? I won it the previous game. I wonder if I can win it this game too. Stout coming out, throwing 25 pitches in his first, or 20 pitches in his first inning. So able to, Underwood ended up throwing 25 there. So, you know, with us talking about, we're not sure how deep both these teams are in their pitching depth. That's huge for the American League to not only score 3 runs on the board, but also to get into Underwood's pitch count. You know, for less, basically a third of it's already almost gone.
Ooh, I was about to say, as that, you know, Stout kind of looked like he was like starting and stopping there. Actually, let me ask Daniel something. I didn't think they called balks because it really wouldn't make sense considering that the runner at first isn't allowed to leave early anyway. And so I didn't think it would make sense for them to call balks, but I was like, on that one, Stout, kind of start.
I think that was a balk. The other thing is nobody's on base.
In middle school,
Yeah.
that'll be a balk.
well, nobody was on base either, so even if it was a balk, it wouldn't.
Yeah, where are you going? Well, it would be in the professionals, if you have a balk, it would be a ball
Okay.
if there's no one on base.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if that would be even say they did go to like an all-star and they did call balks. I wonder if
Yeah.
that would be a call here.
As is 2-2 is your pitch count to Everett Chapman.
And interesting here by Stout. He's actually pitching on the windup.
Swing and a miss there for Chapman. That is a McDonald's strikeout. First out.
That is 3 back-to-back. That's 3 in a row strikeouts from Stout. He's definitely found his groove. And, I when he warmed up, when he pitched that first thing, I thought he was just a kid that just literally came out and pitched out of the stretch, but he's pitching just fine out of the windup here.
Wade sending us some updates from CMA Fest. I don't think that's as exciting as the action here, though.
No, not at all. I mean, this game is absolutely exciting. Both these games so far has just been nail biters and a little chin music there by Stout. I don't think that was meant to be, but good job by Reisner to get out of the way.
Reisner swinging a miss here. 1-1. 1 out. 3-1 National League with an early lead. And you have to feel like that's a pretty big lead with Kason Stout on the mound.
If he's pitching like this, that is a huge lead. That absolutely.
Swing and a miss there, 1-2. And it looks like he's really kind of found himself over the last 3 to 4 batters.
100%. And like I said, I don't know if the coaches told him, hey, you got a little bit ahead of yourself there. You're going too fast in your pitching motion. Why don't you try it from the windup, slow yourself down a little bit. But it's definitely helped him out.
Ooh, they call a low strike in the zone. And so that is going to be another McDonald's strikeout. So you said it, 4 in a row now for Mr. Stout.
If he was bowling and these were strikes, he would be very happy, man. He's very happy pitching out there with 4 strikes right now. As Jackson comes up, almost the hero of the last game.
Yeah. And, if the American League did, obviously it's 3-1, it's in the second inning. But if they did end up falling, it's one of those situations where they had so many opportunities to close this out. I mean, really, in game 4 especially. And then, of course, they've had 2 different times where they've been in the last inning and all they had to do was get 3 outs to win the championship. But both times, the National League has shown really, really good, moxie just to fight it off, stay alive, and continue to advance back to this championship winner-take-all Game 7.
And we've talked about this being almost a boxing match a couple times this time. It's almost like one of those guys that's not winning the fight, and then you notice your opponent's getting tired, and then that's your chance to fight back, and then they start to get back on their heels a little bit. And I think that's where the American League is right now. I feel like it's the 8th or 9th round, and now the momentum has just shifted over towards the National League, and they got the American League on their heels.
3-1 count, 2 outs here to Jackson. That one misses, and so that will be a 2-out walk for Jackson.
I just wonder, we haven't seen a lot of left-handed batters. Blaylock's been feasting out there as a left-handed batter, and then Jackson is a left-handed batter. I don't really know any other left-handed batter, so I wonder if just seeing that different approach and something you don't see, especially at this age, is just kind of throw him off, because Stout has just been stellar these last 4 batters, and that one he just kind of seemed off a little bit.
Brings up Richardson, who gets a first pitch strike from Stout.
And that's good for Stout. I walked to Jackson 4-1 at that last at bat. Come out here, get ahead. 0-1 on the very first pitch. That's huge for him to get his momentum back.
Ooh, rides inside there, has to dodge it. 1-1.
And it looks like Stout. I mean, it's one of those things where if you got one good pitch and you throw it well, throw it. I haven't really seen him throw a breaking pitch at all, but his fastball he locates so well. I don't think he needs 2 pitches.
This one grounded. Garcia ranging, fires to first, and the out is made by Wells. And so that will do it here for the top of the second inning as Stout gets a scoreless frame on the board. We'll be back in the bottom of the second as the National League comes to bat here on Pulaski Citizen Live.
If you're looking for a new job, let M&M Staffing be your guide. With over 20 years of experience, we know how to connect great people with great opportunities. We work with over 80 companies, so we're sure to find the perfect job for you. Our team is dedicated to helping you succeed, and our high customer satisfaction rate proves it. Ready to get started? Visit us at mnmstaffing.net or give us a call today at 931-347-4255.
The Natural Gas Department of Pulaski is here to help you save money. Natural gas is safe, efficient, and cost-effective. It's up to 50 to 60% less expensive than electricity for home heating. Plus, it's clean and efficient, so you can feel good about your choice. Call us today for service or visit our website to learn more. Make the switch to natural gas and start saving today.
And we're back here for the bottom of the second inning. Underwood will head back out to the mound for the American League and Lead. That's one's really been tough for me tonight. But 3-1, the National League leads it, and they are headed to the plate trying to tack on more here. Like you said it very well last inning, the momentum seems to have somewhat shifted in this series in Game 7.
Absolutely. I wonder, Randolph came out and talked to Underwood, was giving him something. I wonder if he noticed something in his delivery, if he was doing. I was very curious what that was. At first, I thought he was just joking with him, but it seemed like he was telling him, hey, maybe his foot's coming off the mound as he's throwing or something like that.
There's going to be a grounder to shortstop. Ooh, but 5 holes. Richardson there. And that will be an error, putting a run on first base with no outs here in the bottom of the second inning.
That's just unfortunate. And, he wants that ball back. You've seen a lot of tough hops there, but that's the one thing you got to do. You got to get your knees down. You got to get your glove on the ground, or that right there will happen. And he squared the ball up. It's just unfortunate for it to go between his legs. And that's another thing that frustrates you as a pitcher too. It's like, oh, we should have had that first out there. And now you got no outs with a runner on, and you're getting even deeper into your pitch count as he's now into 37 pitches. Oh, wait, no, sorry, 28 pitches. I keep looking on the wrong side of the scoreboard. You're league and lead.
Yeah.
And I'm over here looking on the wrong side of the scoreboard.
Hey, it's going to be a late night.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, it's Friday night, though.
Benton at first, Wells at the plate.
I think Wells even thought that might have been a strike because I think it was called a ball. Was that called a ball or was that called a strike? Okay.
Yeah, 2-1. That one high for ball, and they're going to throw behind the runner.
And I like that. Hagan has enough intelligence out there behind the plate. He's a very good catcher from what I've seen, and he has a very strong arm. I think that they should try that a little bit more, especially needing to steal outs. And if you can steal an out over there at first base like that, that also saves your pitcher's pitch count. And I've been seeing the National League, some runners will tend to get very aggressive over there at first, and that will not only hold that runner there, but you could steal some outs. And he has the ability, just showing it right there, throwing from his knees to get that out.
And they throw that one behind him there. And so whether it hit him or whether it's a walk, it's going to send him down to first base either way. As runners on first and second now with no outs, and coming to the plate is Dawson Oakley.
Dawson Oakley had a good hit the ball hard every time he was up to bat last game. Had a RBI that put him that I believe put him up by 1 in his second at bat out to center field. But he also had some hard hit balls to left. This
one's well hit. But Starling, I believe that's Starling.
That is Starling.
Is there.
Yeah,
he's a little bit taller than the other outfilders. The easiest way to tell it's him.
And he's a lefty. That was the thing. I was like, there's 2 very tall players in Underwood and Starling on the American League, and one is left-handed, so it's very easy to tell them apart.
Huge out there now, because now you have 1 out, runners on first and second. You're in the last spot in the lineup, though. We'll see what Neil can do here.
Yeah, Neil's finding his groove coming back from 4-H camp. Got fooled on that one. Very good breaking pitch there by Underwood. And Neil put the ball in play every single time that he was at bat last time. Didn't get a hit, but did get a sacrifice RBI out of one of them.
That one, a swing and a miss, 1-2.
His breaking pitch, I think, is just fooling him. You never want to see that back foot get moved up, and he kind of just swung out of his stance there.
Oh, gets him again here, but are they going to say that was fouled off? Indeed it was. He got a piece.
And that's good too. That's another pitch getting into the pitch count there. You missed that pitch and you get strike 3, foul it off, you get to see another pitch.
1-2. We'll see what Underwood delivers here. Here's the pitch. This one catches him swinging, chasing low again, and that's going to be a McDonald strikeout. 2 huge outs here with runners on first and second.
Yeah, it's a very huge out there. Like you said, your 11th batter up. You definitely want to get that out with somebody like Garcia coming up to bat who's got a lot of speed. and the last thing you want to do is put somebody extra on base with your top of the lineup coming back up.
Doesn't it always feel weird to say 11th batter? It does
I
for
know, it
me.
feels so weird. But I kind of love it though, because everybody's out here getting
Yeah.
a chance to play and having fun. I kind of love it.
They nearly catch Garcia there. It's inside, but it misses him 2-0. 2 outs, runners on first and second. So National League is threatening once again. They're already up 3-1.
And we've seen the bottom of the lineup do a lot of damage in the previous game.
Yeah.
It's probably happened that way this whole time. So it's like, even though you're batting 11, there's no guaranteed outs at all in either one of these lineups.
3-0. That one in there for a strike.
So that one, I'm guessing, was you need to take that pitch. There was no green light like it was with Denton on that one.
Oh, this one well hit. Oh, but what a play at third, and he'll get the fielder's choice. Judah Reisner steps to his right, picks it up, and finds a way to step on the bag for out number 3. And so the fielder's choice ends the inning, but National League still leads it 3-1. We're going to take a First Realty Group inning break, and we'll be back with more on Pulaski Citizen Live.
Southern Tennessee Regional Health System. Pulaski is here to help you be well. Our mission is to make our community healthier, and we're your community hospital. We're committed to providing trusted care when you need it most. From wellness checks to emergencies, we're here for you and your family. Visit us today at southerntennessee.com or call 931-363-7531.
Whether you need to finance home improvements or a last-minute vacation, we can help. We offer everything from consumer loans to home equity line of credit, so you can choose the option that best meets your needs. Sit down and talk with one of our loan officers today. Give us a call at 931-424-3008 or stop by and see us. The Bank of Frank Ewing is ready to serve you. We are a member, FDIC, and equal housing lender.
And we're back here for the top of the third inning. Thanks again to First Realty Group for sponsoring that inning break. And remember that our title sponsor for this Giles County Little League All-Star Classic is Haney Realty and Property Management, your best friend in real estate. And so Cason's out. We'll head back out to the mound for a third inning of work. And after struggling a bit to the first 3 or 4 batters, he has been just electric. His last 6 that he's faced, he has 4 strikeouts during that run and has given up only 1 run today.
And one thing that's interesting, he started the game off pitching from the stretch. Then he pitched the second inning from the windup, but it looks like he's back out to the stretch here. So I don't know if that's just to try to keep the batters off, kind of throw them off so they don't get a timing on them, or if it's just a feel thing. I'd be very interested. But either way, he's throwing strikes and he's throwing very well. And hey, shout out to the American League to get out of that inning. That inning could have easily got away from that last time. Underwood able to get out of there. Yeah, he threw more pitches than what you want him to, but no run scored. And that's kind of what you want.
I'm going to not say that there's no chance it happens this game, but I'll tell you, every time this series where I was like, this one's getting out of hand, this one's going to be a blowout, like when it was 12-4 the other night, every time the other team finds a way to stop the bleeding and get back into it. And so, at last year, we had a couple mercy rules in the All-Star Classic. This time we're in Game 7, and we have not had a single game decided by more than 4 runs yet.
And do you think that's just being these kids know each other in and out? It's kind of like when you play your rival in another sport, like a close town or somebody you've always played. These kids know each other so well. It's one of those things where it's like they don't want to go down like that. They're going to always fight back. They always believe that they can chance. It's almost bragging rights for them.
Oh, without a doubt. And also, I think the pitching, it's hard to say, but I think the pitching's been a little better this year.
Yeah.
Now, granted, there were 2 big-time hitters last year, and 2 kids who were actually 2 of the best players this year. What
nice hit.
What a hit there for Harold Ryder as he gets a leadoff single. But, Braylon Bledsoe and Zahari Howell actually both started for the Bridgeforth Middle School team and were key players after, 1 year prior being in the All-Star Classic here. And so the 2 of them, I think they ended up hitting like a combined 8 or 9 home runs in the 7-game series. And that's more home runs than we've seen overall this year. Those 2 kids hit more than we've seen all this time series. So there was a little better hitting last year, but I think the pitching's improved.
Absolutely. And based off what I could see as Swanner swings and misses on strike 1 there, is that the pitching has been very good. And like you said, even Jackson was a guy that didn't have a lot of experience last game, came in and pitched awesome, pitched absolutely awesome.
Swanner will watch that one go by 0-2.
And you called it with Harold Ryder there. Had a tough game that first one, had a strikeout and some things like that. But you said he was feast or famine. He absolutely barreled that one up and just drove it right out the left field.
Big swing and a miss there, and so that is a McDonald's strikeout for Kason Stout as he gets Swanner first out.
5 on the board going through the lineup. So you got 11 batters, and he ends up getting 5 of them on strikeouts. That's pretty huge.
He's good. He's very good. But he's another guy who I kind of suspect he's going to fall into that, category of guys who, because he's such a good catcher, someday they're going to stop letting him pitch maybe.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, Giles County this year still let Kilpatrick pitch quite a bit, even though
Absolutely.
he was the catcher. And so there are other opportunities where you see that. But a lot of times, you're a great defensive catcher. You just say to yourself, man, I can't afford to have him out from behind the plate. He's not going to get to pitch, even though he's one of the better pitchers.
And that's one of those things that you want to see is somebody develop at least 2, maybe even 3 catchers that you can have that depth in there. And plus, you want to give your catcher behind the plate. It's tough back there. Fly ball, and it's going to drop foul.
Giving chase is Davis there, but couldn't quite make it there in time. So that'll be 2-1 count now to Blaylock, your leadoff hitter.
And just to finish that thought, it's one of those things where it's like, being behind the plate every single game is very difficult. It's really hard on your knees. It's out there. So you want to be able to give them a break, have somebody come in, let them go play the field, take a breather for a minute.
This one grounded foul.
And if playing the field is having one of your better pitchers come up, then that's a win right there.
Yeah.
Blaylock's playing a very good hitter. Been a very, very good hitter this series so far. He did ground out to second base. Great play there by Garcia to lead this game off as he fouls another one off to third.
Left, right, left.
And that's one of those things, too, that you like to see right there. I mean, yeah, he's fighting. And that every single foul ball is an extra pitch that goes on Stout's pitch count.
Absolutely. I think Stout up to 48 pitches now here in the third inning. That will be strike 3. So yet another McDonald's strikeout for Kason Stout.
And it's one of those things where the way that Stout's grooving the ball right now, they're struggling to catch up to his fastball. He's locating it very well. You almost need to get him out of the game if you feel that the American League is going to go on a run.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is, Starling, when he had 11 strikeouts the other night, I was like, no one's going to reach 11 again, because that is just so hard to do with only 85 pitches to work with.
Mm-hmm.
I think Stout's got a chance tonight.
I think he does. He's on pace.
This one grounded. And they're actually going to try the fielder's choice, and Garcia makes it. He was already turned that direction, and so it was the most natural play. And so he actually fires to second for the fielder's choice to get him out of the jam there. 3-1 is your score, as we will head to the bottom of the third inning after a web gem play there by Gilberto Garcia. So back in 1 minute, you're listening to the Giles County Little League All-Star Classic on Pulaski Citizen Live.
Haney Financial Solutions is a New York Life company. We're for the people who put their love into action. Backed by over 175 years of experience, New York Life companies like Haney Financial Solutions have been helping people just like you protect what matters most. So go ahead and make a difference in the world. Visit NewYorkLife.com or call us today at 931-363-6490. Haney Financial Solutions. We're here to help.
Making connections between buyers and sellers is what the real estate professionals at First Realty Group love the most. Whether it's a home, a farm, commercial property, or land, First Realty Group has the experience and know-how to market your property and help find that dream home you've been looking for. Find out why First Realty Group is first. Visit their office on the east side of the Pulaski Square. Call 363-2644 and visit their website at frg1.com.
And so we're back here for the bottom of the third inning as Kason Stout continues to pitch well on the mound for the National League. And now we'll see if his teammates can help pick him up here. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, he's the first one who will have a chance to pick himself up at the plate versus Underwood.
And, last at bat, I think he had a hit out to left field, a single. And just to go back to that final play by Gilberto Garcia, I think he heard us talking up here about how he was in the running for defensive player of the game last game. And he's like, this game, I'm going to prove it to you. That was an amazing web gem.
Oh, and catching him Swinging high there is Stout for strike number 1. Once again, we want to thank Haney Realty and Property Management, your best friend in real estate, who has made the video streaming of tonight's game and every game of the Giles County Little League All-Star Classic available. Come on out and watch these Giles County players live, but if you can't, thank Daniel Haney and his team at Haney Realty and Property Management for this live video streaming.
And very good plate discipline here by Stout. He was really aggressive on that first pitch. He really wanted to hit it bad. The other ones have actually been a little bit lower, but he's able to have good plate discipline and get ahead in the count.
Gets over the top of that one. Ooh, but that's going to be an error for Reisner as it gets between his legs. You know, we've seen a couple of those tonight for the shortstop and third baseman for the American League where they get down, but just not quite in time, and it gets under their glove.
Absolutely. Like there, I think that it just got the glove down a little bit late. Hard hit ball. He's kind of playing in the middle, is probably where you want to be, especially with bases empty. But just unfortunate there. As that one's
hit ball. Is it? It might be. That ball is gone.
And that was Denton Davis adding more on to his 2 he had last night. That makes 3 in the last 2 days. And is that how many he has for the tournament?
It is.
Wow. He's really come on hot in the last 2 days. That is awesome for him.
Yeah, what a shot that was. I'll tell you, once again, how I always decide whether or not it's a home run in this park, because this park is kind of deceptive because the fence feels a little short. And then sometimes you're like, well, they hit it so high, though. Is it going to be a pop out? You always watch the body language of the outfielder and your left fielder there. I think that might be Swanner. He was basically put his hands on the fence. He's like, I'm not getting to this one. And sure enough, that was a no-doubter off the bat of Davis.
I had a feeling that one was gone by the time that he hit it. The way the ball turned into a shadow so fast, I was like, that thing is out of here. Good thing that truck driving down the road wasn't there right now, or he might have been able to catch that from the driver's seat.
Yeah. 1-1 count now to Estrada. And I'll tell you, Davis is a double, a home run, 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored. You know, he's making a case. If Garcia is making a case for the defensive player of the game, he's making a case for the overall player of the game.
100%. I would say that as he stretches that into a double, wow, I was sitting over here marking down a single, but that speed from Estrada, able to stretch that into a double, heads up play there. Seems like the National League is just grabbing that momentum and starting to run with it right now.
By the way, that was a McDonald's home run, and both of those base hits were brought to you by Winter Burns and Associates Insurance.
Yeah, just like I said, right now I would say that between Davis and Stout, just as the pitcher, him just being unstoppable at the moment is in the runner for player of the game at the moment, I would say. Do you agree?
Oh, I would.
Okay.
Yeah. And, you know, it's been tough this series. There's really only been one game where I just thought there was no one else you could pick, and that was when, like I said, when they were up 2-0, and I know they ended up losing that game, but Starling threw 5 no-hit innings and had 11 strikeouts, and he was also 2 for 3 with a double and RBI, 2 runs scored. I mean, that game, that was the best single performance of the series. That one was easy to call, even though he was on the losing team.
Right.
No one else has thrown it wasn't a full game no-hitter because he didn't get that far, but no one else had thrown a no-hitter of at least 5 innings. And so he was a very easy pick that night.
And Edwards, who's been a very good player the first game and even in his first at-bat, gets the ball to short.
Ooh,
another
error. And this one is going to go ahead and score a run. So some unearned runs. You really can't fault Underwood here. He's doing what he needs to do, but tough luck there for the American League. And just like that, it's now 6-1 is your score.
Yeah, very unfortunate there from the shortstop. It's one of those things where, you know, if you remember the American League in that first game, the defense was just on point. You had Chapman throw in a bunch of strikes until they had that one inning that kind of got away from them right there. That brought everything that brought the National League back into that game. And the defense is what really kept them in this game. Unfortunately, what's been happening here is we're going to have a pitching change, unfortunately. Underwood, I don't think Underwood pitched that bad this entire time.
I'll be honest, I am very surprised by this call because, you know, you've burned Underwood now. He can't come back. And Richardson is the last pitcher who I've even seen in this series from the American League. I had heard that Harold Ryder can pitch too, and so I guess they'll have to go to Ryder next. But I'm surprised that they're going to go ahead and burn Underwood so early. And so Underwood, his night is through. Really can't fault him as his team had 3 errors behind him. But sometimes that's the way it shakes out. So we will now have a PES energized pitching change as Braxton Richardson comes in from shortstop. We'll be back after a 1-minute timeout. You're listening to Giles County Little League All-Star Classic on Pulaski Citizen Live.
My name is Hagan Haney. I'm 12 years old and I play baseball at Giles County Little League. I play the position of catcher. I love when runners try and steal on me. It usually doesn't go well for them. Here at Haney Realty and Property Management, we are proud to be the title sponsor for the 2024 Giles County All-Star Tournament. Our agents love listing and selling houses, and they are here to help you find the home of your dreams. You can find us at 109 South 1st Street and give us a call at 931-347-9150. Haney Realty and Property Management. We are your best friends in real estate.
And we are back here once again. Thanks for that PES Energized pitching change for the American League. It's going to be Braxton Richardson, who has pitched one more time in this series. And honestly, that day they weren't hitting him, but he was giving up some walks. And so I think if he can find the zone, I think he could have an effective night out there.
Yeah, very interesting. I mean, his warm-up's good. He's got a breaking pitch. He throws a pretty good velocity fastball. It is interesting. He has had a couple errors in the last few batters, and, you know, he just had an error on that last batter there. So I wonder what his mentality is coming in here to pitch. You know, is he just going to we'll find out pretty quick, you know, if he's going to be on with his pitching. But, you know, after you have an error and then you come in to pitch, what's your mentality when you're out there on the mound? Especially with seeing somebody like Nate Edwards coming up to bat right now who has a lot of power.
Yeah, like I said, Nate Edwards actually hit, I want to say it was the only opposite field shot that we've seen this series. Everyone else has hit it to either center or their field, but, man, he put that one out over the right field fence.
And there's a lot of cars over there on the left field side, so they better get out of the way.
So here's the first pitch from Richardson. That one is a ball.
Inside. See, that's where I almost want to see them take advantage of Haney's intelligence and his arm behind the plate there. Edwards is extremely aggressive, and he got in trouble in the last game where he got tagged out at third being extremely aggressive.
I think earlier this series, Haney got him down at third base, I believe, because he was being too aggressive there and started kind of like trying to play back and forth between two bases.
Because, see, when he takes that play over to the second right there and Haney's walking up, when he turns around and starts walking to first, that's when I'd gun it over there.
Yeah. Oh, blows it by Edwards there. That's Nate Edwards. And that's going to be a 1-2 count. Richardson's got to know that he's probably one of the last two even available pitchers tonight. And so he's probably going to get a pretty long leash here. Let's see what he can do with it.
Well, Richardson coming out, throwing strikes. It seems like those errors in the field has not affected him that much at all.
That one gets away, though, and so that'll send Edwards down to second.
I will not call that the announcer's jinx because the ball had already left his hand before I finished that statement.
You know, Scott Stewart believes in jinxes, but as a good Southern Baptist, I don't.
I agree. I don't feel like I have that much power on the world.
2-2 count. Oh, that was close to the zone, but they're going to go ahead and call it a ball, so that will be, I believe, a full. Oh, wait. Am I confused here?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. So that was not a full count. That was actually a 4-1 count, and so that's a walk.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, you would kind of wish the umpire behind the plate would be a little bit more obvious with his balls and strikes calls, so you know exactly. I run into that running the scoreboard a lot for the Giles County game. A lot of times I got the window open so I can at least try to hear him or something like that, and I'm like, please give me a signal, help me out up here. Because the moment it's wrong, you're going to turn around and look at me.
Yeah. First pitch outside. I will say this, too. I think Troy Hughes has looked really good in an umpire situation in this series. I would love to see him umpire some, you know, middle school and high school games.
I would love it. I thought he did great behind the plate that first time. And talk about somebody that is really good with showing his motions, like even his safe calls, his out calls. It's very obvious what he's calling when he calls it. I would agree with that. I'd love to see him do some more stuff like that. I believe it. Yeah, I believe that bunt attempt there did not pull the bat back by Dooley.
So I believe we'll be 1-2 now.
Yeah, I think he had the bunt out there and went to lay it down, never pulled it back. Good pitch there by Richardson, just kind of throwing it on the outside, not giving him a chance to lay that bunt down.
6-1 is your score here as the National League is in the lead, and they have two runners on, first and second, a pair of Edwards, Ty on second, Nate on first. And at the plate, it's Rhett Dooley.
Yeah, Dooley grounded out to second base his first at bat. Now he's sitting up here with a 2-2
Dooley's
count.
getting a. Oh, never mind. So they're actually Randolph is explaining to the American League coaching staff why he's made some of the calls he has, and it sounded a little bit like he might have been a little bit agitated.
Yeah, absolutely.
2-2. And there's strike number 3. So that's a McDonald strikeout for Richardson and a huge first out for the American League.
That's one thing about being in the press box, and it's the other thing about being on first and on the base sides is that when you're on the base sides, you can see if it's too high or too low.
Yeah.
When you're in the press box, you can see if it's over the plate, but it's hard to see whether or not if it's high or low. Good cut there by Benton. It's going to go foul ball, I believe, on the first pitch for strike 1.
Third inning, 0-1 count, 1 out. 2 runners on. Can Richardson get out of this one and then see if his team can pick him up in the 4th? Low and away, that one will get away. And so that will move your runners up to 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, just unfortunate there by Richardson. Nothing that Haney could do behind the plate there. I mean, he could have tried to dive for it. What's that going to do? They're going to steal the base anyways. Just now you got runners on 2nd and 3rd. 1 out. Base hit here could easily is going to score 1, if not 2.
1-1.
Great.
Miss it.
Great job there by Haney. Great job there. And he just kind of blocked that one up, keeps that in front of him. Like I said, has a very good baseball IQ out there, knowing that he can't let that ball, anything close like that, he's got to keep in front of him, keep that runner over at 3rd.
And Edwards is very aggressive at 3rd. You can see he's taking a big lead when he can. And this will be a grounder to shortstop. They fire to first for the out. I believe that's now Blaylock, who is your shortstop, and he fires it over for out number 2. So they give up a run, but they trade it for an out. It is now 7-1. So actually, we forgot to mention that your changes now are basically there was a 3-man weave as Richardson comes from short to the pitcher. Underwood goes from pitcher to 2nd, and going from 2nd to short is Blaylock.
Yeah, very good play there by Lee, and good play there by Blaylock. He got down on that ball. He wasn't going to let that one get between his legs. First real throw over there from short side. He's been playing a lot of seconds, so threw a little bit high, but heads up play there to grab and get that tag out. But, for talking to Benton there, that's what you want to do. You want to put the ball on the ground with 1 out, and that he did his job. He scored that runner from 3rd.
I want to take a shot in the dark. I think that not only is Blaylock your best defensive second baseman on this team, I think he's probably your best defensive shortstop. And quite frankly, if he has the arm, he might be your best defensive third baseman. He's just a really, really good defensive infielder.
You can see it out there. He is very comfortable. That's
well hit ball. Will Starling make the catch? Indeed, he will. So he settles under it for out number 3. A loud out, but an out nonetheless. 7-1 is your score as the National League has extended their lead to 6 runs. We'll be back after a 1-minute timeout. That timeout will be brought to you by First Realty Group as an inning break. Back in 1 minute on Pulaski Citizen Live.
Whether you need to finance home improvements or a last-minute vacation, we can help. We offer everything from consumer loans to home equity line of credit, so you can choose the option that best meets your needs. Sit down and talk with one of our loan officers today. Give us a call at 931-424-3008 or stop by and see us. The Bank of Franklin is ready to serve you. We are a member, FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Haney Financial Solutions is a New York Life company. We're for the people who put their love into action. Backed by over 175 years of experience, New York Life companies like Haney Financial Solutions have been helping people just like you protect what matters most. So go ahead and make a difference in the world. Visit NewYorkLife.com or call us today at 931-363-6490. Haney Financial Solutions. We're here to help.
And we're back here for the top of the 4th inning. Thanks again to First Realty Group for that inning break. And once again, a big shout out to our title sponsor, Haney Realty and Property Management, your best friend in real estate, who has made this 7-game series possible, live streaming on Pulaski Citizen Live. And remember, it's not just about what we're getting to do this summer, but we're getting closer and closer, Adam, to football. I bet you there's a chance you're going to hear both of our voices before the football season's over as well. And so we're trying to cover as much sports as we can year-round here at the Pulaski Citizen Live.
I love it. I'm glad you brought me into the fold to do these games with you guys. It's an absolute honor in order to come out here and do games with you. I've been listening to you guys for years, and I'm very grateful, and I would love to do stuff like that. I can smell the football in the air. You can see it all over the TV as they're still talking all the time. I'm thinking about my fantasy football drafts coming up. So it is definitely coming around. I'm really excited about the college football season coming up. I think it's Lee that comes up every single time up to bat, and he's got an orange and white helmet.
Yep.
And I'm like, he must be a Vols fan, and that makes me think right of football every single time.
Well, let me ask you this. Are you getting the NCAA football football video game now that they brought it back.
I think so. Even though my concern is it's the Madden reskin.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
And I, with Madden over the last few years is that it's all just been about collecting cards and things like that. And they've not really paid attention to a lot of the things that made the game great.
Yeah.
And I hope they don't do that with NCAA. They've had this long break for a long time, building your player as a freshman and going through the entire experience and having to go to class and doing things like that. I hope they don't take that out because that experience was what made that game. So please don't make it about like cards or alumni or whatever. Make it about the gameplay again.
Oh, yeah, I love that game. I think it's been a decade since they had one, right?
I still play the old one.
Really?
I showed my son it, and he plays it all the time with that Fred. I think it was like, 10 years ago or something like that was the last time it came out.
7-1 is your score here in the fourth inning. Cason Stout back out on the mound. He's at 52 now after that one. And so he's probably got a couple more innings in him here. And if so, that'll probably spell trouble for the American League, who has hit him okay in this series, but he's still been pretty effective. And tonight, I believe, he's had 6 strikeouts through the first 3 innings.
Yeah, and speaking of that, he's gone up against Starling, who had a great play to end that inning the last time. And you called it this last time at bat. You noticed that they were pitching Starling outside every single time, and that's exactly what they're doing right now, too. They're absolutely pitching him. Every single pitch has been on the outside of the plate because I think they noticed that he likes to try to pull the ball out the right field.
This one grounded, off the glove of Stout. Still might be a chance for a play. Starling just a bit too fast, though.
He better get back to the base.
Yeah.
I would say you made that turn.
That's going to be a Winterburn and Associates Insurance base hit there on the infield single. I really don't think they're going to be able to throw him out either way as Starling reaches first.
And who's that's moved out to short? I didn't see the defensive lineups at the time, but
that's for National League?
Yes.
That's Edwards.
Okay, Edwards, great. I mean, great play out there by him. I mean, yeah, he made a bad throw. As Starling tries to steal second.
They got him.
Hey, good play there by Garcia, shooting down. I mean, that was a good slide by Starling, but heads-up play there by Edwards in order to put that tag on him.
And that came from catcher, right?
That did.
That was Estrada, but yes.
Oh, sorry, Estrada.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, Garcia's over at second base. Yep, apologies.
Like I said, I made a couple of those the first couple of games. I just appreciate you coming out. As I say, it's always tough when it's your first 2 games of the series. As you know, these are kind of guys who, if I hadn't done the All-Star Classic last year, you don't really know them as much growing up as I think that, we used to, obviously. But I really love the fact that they're getting the Little League, back going again.
Yes.
Honestly, I wonder if we see, as that one's fouled back.
I blinked on that
As of last year, there was no Babe Ruth currently, right?
Correct.
But I think they should bring it back because honestly, these guys are getting in an age where, you're sending a lot of kids up. And I think you're going to be able to, they got to where they could only field 3 or 4 teams. I think you could field more than that now.
The more you play baseball, the more comfortable you get, the more you learn, the more you get put in situations. That's a lot of things. You don't play a lot. You can know the game here and there. As Haney hits that over to third base.
Oh, Davis, great exchange there. And 1 hops and the emphatic out call there by Troy Hughes. As they get him, I was wondering for a moment if he'd be able to backhand that one. Indeed, he could for out number 2. Good job by Wells.
Yeah, very good job by Wells. Good job by the third baseman out there. He just absolutely just got on that ball. Have to fire that ball. This is a shorter field, and you just absolutely fire that over to first to get that second out.
And Lee puts one into the outfield. That's going to be kind of a bloop single. It gets by the right fielder, Oakley. And so Lee's going to get at least one more base there. And so we'll have a single and an error there. That was a Winterburn and Associates Insurance base hit for Dawson Lee.
Yeah, that's one of those interesting things. You could tell what came off the bat had some wicked side spin on it. And even though he got in front of it, the moment that ball hit the ground, it just kind of shot off to the right and got behind him. Good thing that he got turned around on it quick and got out there. Good thing that ball, he kind of got underneath it a little bit because if that would have rolled to the fence, he might have had a triple, maybe an inside the park home run.
Yeah. We talked about it last night, but how good is this infield defense for the National League, though? When you got Davis at third, Edwards at short, Garcia at second, Wells at first. Stout right now is the pitcher, but normally he plays catcher. And then in certain situations, you'll have Rhett Dooley come in and play infield as well. They just have such a wealth of talent defensively.
Even talk about Garcia. I mean, yeah, he's the backup catcher. Usually Stout's back there, but he already has a put out on one of the faster players in Starling for the American League.
0-1 count now to Chapman at the plate. 7-1 is your score. The National League currently leads it, but the American League has a runner in scoring position at second, 2 down. they don't have to get it all back this inning, but you feel like they want to get back a couple.
And one thing that's been happening, if you've noticed, is that Stout was just mowing people down. He was getting about 2 strikeouts per inning. I believe that's exactly what's happening. Even though that there's 2 outs on the board, he has no strikeouts. They've been hitting him and hitting him hard. So maybe they're starting to get his timing down and start to learn his pitches as he attempts a breaking ball that goes inside as Chapman dives out of the way.
The thing that's big this inning, though, is them Estrada throwing out Starling is just huge.
It is.
I mean, the difference between 2 outs and 1 runner on base and 1 out and potentially a run already scored maybe and a runner on base is just huge. And there, Stout gets out of the inning with a McDonald's strikeout. And so that will do it for the top of the 4th. 7-1 is your score as the National League leads it. We'll be back after a 1-minute timeout here on Pulaski Citizen Live.
Making connections between buyers and sellers is what the real estate professionals at First Realty Group love the most. Whether it's a home, a farm, commercial property, or land, First Realty Group has the experience and know-how to market your property and help find that dream home you've been looking for. Find out why First Realty Group is first. Visit their office on the east side of the Pulaski Square. Call 363-2644 and visit their website at frg1.com.
My name is Hagen Haney. I'm 12 years old and I play baseball at Giles County Little League. I play the position of catcher. I love when runners try and steal on me. It usually doesn't go well for them. Here at Haney Realty and Property Management, we are proud to be the title sponsor for the 2024 Giles County All-Star Tournament. Our agents love listing and selling houses, and they are here to help you find the home of your dreams. You can find us at 109 South 1st Street and give us a call at 931-347-9150. Haney Realty and Property Management. We are your best friends in real estate.
And we are back here for the bottom of the 4th inning. 7-1 is your score. You're watching the Giles County Little League All-Star Classic, brought to you by title sponsor Haney Realty and Property Management, your best friend in real estate. Braxton Richardson will head back out to the mound for his 2nd inning of work in relief. He's thrown 18 pitches thus far, so has a lot to work with here. And due up first, that's going to be Dawson Oakley of the National League.
Yeah, I think Stout heard us on that last time, said, wait, you said I haven't thrown a strikeout this inning? I got you. Hold on.
Hey, there is a pretty well hit ball, and that one's going to get to your right fielder, Ryder. Ryder actually thinks about trying to throw him out there, but Oakley, just a little bit too much speed. That'll be a Winterburn and Associates Insurance base hit for the young man.
And shout out to Oakley. I mean, he's absolutely put the ball in play every single time, and most times it's been hit to the outfield. He has done very well every at-bat that he's faced.
Neal up next. Swings and misses there.
I think Neal thought the bat he was using the previous at bat was bad juju, so he decided to switch bats this time. He's like, that was my first strikeout since coming back. I don't want to use that bat anymore.
I will say, though, give Richardson a lot of credit. After he issued that walk, I think he ended up getting 3 guys out in a row. And so, he's really shown a lot of discipline to kind of calm the nerves and then to just throw strikes, get a strikeout, and get his defense to do the work behind him. So, honestly, I think he's the guy that they're going to ride out till pretty close to the end of this one if they can.
That's a great call, Mark, because, we wasn't sure who was going to come in after Underwood.
Yeah.
And Underwood came out early, and Richardson came in and said, I got this.
And really, at this point, if you're the American League 2, you're kind of thinking right now, we're down by 6 runs, but a little bit of that's been due to errors.
Yes.
At the end of the day, if our defense had played a little better, it's probably 3-1, maybe 4-1, and we feel like we're in a better opportunity. But the American League has had a really good hitting lineup as there's a strikeout looking for the McDonald's strikeout, the 2nd of the day for Richardson on Neal.
And just hearing in between the breaks, you telling me and listening to you guys, you and Daniel talk about the previous games and stuff that happened. Seems like there's been a lot of comebacks, and Stout is sitting at 64 pitches. We saw what the American League has behind them as that ball gets behind the catcher, and Oakley's going to get over to second base on the wild pitch. We don't know what's behind Stout at the National League, and he has got 21 pitches left.
That's the thing, though. With 21 pitches, there's a chance he could get 4 or 5 outs.
Yes.
And so, if they can get to 1 or 2 outs to go, they probably can find a way to piecemeal, 2 outs together, especially if you have a 6-run lead, because it's different if it's 3-1 and you need 2 outs compared to 7-1 and you need 2 outs.
100%.
Garcia at the plate. That one is going to get away and send Oakley down to third base. 3-0 count.
Now we're going back to the unforced errors, the things you've been doing to hurt yourself this game, and having a give it to Oakley to get on base with a single, but now you got 2 wild pitches, get him in scoring position.
A high hit ball. He's going to track back the catch. Oh, I know. He dropped that. He dropped that. And that's going to be an E7, and that's going to score a run and put Garcia at second base.
Yeah, just unfortunate there by the left fielder. I mean, he had that. It just kind of, I think he wanted to transfer it, and it never was fully in his glove, just popped out of it. I think he was too worried about trying to make that throw over to home, but he was so deep in left field that I don't know if that ball would have got there in time.
Suddenly in the back of your mind, too, they only need 3 more runs and then a scoreless 5th to actually mercy rule this game. And so a game that in a series that's been so close, and you have the heart of the lineup due up for the National League, they put 3 runs on the board here, and now the American League is in danger of having this one end early.
That's funny you say that, as we have another wild pitch that gets Garcia over into third base again. And that's absolutely correct that you say that, Mark, because I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, with 64 pitches, you don't know what's behind him. Well, if you get a mercy roll, you may not have to worry about it. If you get Stout up there with 11 outs, I imagine in 20 pitches, he can get you 3 outs.
Yeah. So Stout, a 3-0 count now, and they want base runners here. Because if they get 1 more and then could find a way for maybe a guy like Davis to put 1 out, he's already put out 3 in this series.
And he's the next one up to bat.
Yeah. Going to call that one for a strike on the inside corner, 3-1.
Yeah, this is the first time that you've seen Richardson really kind of get a little wild. And, that ball hit really hard.
That's going to be an RBI base hit. So that will be a Winterburn and Associates insurance single for Kason Stout. Adds another run to their tally, and they now lead 9-1 with 1 out and a runner on first. So the potential, not the walk-off run, because of course you actually have to go 5 innings for the 10-run rule. Yeah, you have to go 5 innings, but it wouldn't be a potential walk-off run, but as is the potential game-winning run, if you could get 3 outs, is now at the plate in Davis.
Well, Davis is already 2 for 2 with a home run his last at bat. He would like to absolutely do that again right here.
It's unfortunate, if he had more at bats, he might hit for the cycle today, because he's already got a double and a homer. But I don't think he's going to get 2 more at bats at this rate.
Well, if he puts it out over first baseman's head in that corner, he's definitely getting a triple, because he has a ton of speed out there.
Yeah. That one fouled back behind our heads, 1-1 count, 1 out, runner on first.
But I don't think he's looking for opposite field. I think he's looking for a fastball, and I think he wants to put one in the road again.
Inside, 2-1.
I wonder if that's one of those things where Richardson knows what he did last at bat and how dangerous he is, and he seems like he is kind of just pitching around him.
It's funny that Davis hit more. If I'm not mistaken, Davis has hit more home runs in the series than he hit in the home run derby.
No joke.
At the end of the day, I think maybe it's just live pitching is easier for him to hit off of than, kind of that weird batting practice pitching that you see in home run derbies.
A wise man once told me that home runs you don't swing for, home runs are accidents. You hit the ball and you drive it really hard. And if it just so happens to go over the fence, well, then that was a home run, but you weren't swinging for it.
3-2. And so will Richardson give him something to hit here?
That's what I was curious about. Richardson shouts out, look, I thought he was pitching around him, but now he's just kind of coming right at him.
This one's going to be grounded to third. Good play there by Reisner. Going to try for the fielder's choice, and he will make it at second.
It's a good play there by Reisner to get the lead runner. That was a very tough play, too. Davis got on top of the ball, took a really tough hop, but he was able to short hop it and still had enough arm to get it over there to Starling in order to, or is that Underwood? Underwood, yeah, because he's not the left-hander.
Second.
Starling's the lefty. Yep.
They're both pretty tall. I can see, as best I can see the resemblance there.
Especially with my terrible eyesight.
Estrada at the plate. He's your cleanup hitter. And it's funny, and he's been really good this series. I think it was yesterday. So they had something that caused them to be late to the ballpark, and so they had him as the cleanup hitter, and they're like, he's not here yet. Can we put him at the bottom of the lineup? And so they're like, yeah, go ahead. No, he was there by the time he was the bottom of the lineup, but they'd had him as a cleanup hitter, and then he became one of the best 11-hole hitters, or I guess 10 holes because they didn't have the 11th player, but 10-hole hitters that you will ever see.
Oh, I bet you he was just feasting down there at the bottom line, which was good because when the top line came back up, you always had a runner on base.
This one popped a mile high. Ryder trying to get to it. Ooh, tries to underhand it there. He cannot get there, though. And so that is going to put runners on second and third with 2 down and a 9-1 lead. And so Ty Edwards has a chance here to push it to 11.
Estrada,
I think they're going to check out on Ryder as it hit his shin pretty awkwardly there. And so since we have an injury timeout, I think we're going to take a break as well. So 9-1 is your score. The National League currently leads it with 2 outs in the 4th inning. We'll be back after a 1-minute timeout here on Pulaski Citizen Live.
Haney Realty and Property Management, can I help you?
At Haney Realty and Property Management, we strive to help our clients with listing and buying of homes. Whether it's land, homes, or commercial, we are happy to assist you. We are licensed in Tennessee and Alabama. We're excited to be the title sponsor for the 2024 Giles County Youth Baseball this year for the All-Star Tournament. Give us a call at 931-347-9150. You can visit our website at www.haneyrealtypm.com, or you can come by and see us at 109 South 1st Street, right off the square in Pulaski. Haney Realty and Property Management. We are your best friend in real estate.
And we're back here after that slight injury timeout, but Ryder's actually going to stay in the ball game, so good on him. Rub some dirt on it. I think he feels fine. And 9-1 is your score. Runners on second and third, 2 down. A chance to take that fabled 10-run lead that we haven't seen yet in this series with a crack of the bat here from Edwards.
Good pitch by Richardson right down the center of the plate. And good thing out there, I think that ball caught the grass, kind of took a lot of the heat off that, so that probably helped Ryder out there in right field. But good pitch from Richardson. He had a little break. Maybe that's what he needed. Just gas the first one right down the center of the plate.
That one outside, 1-1.
Good job there by Hagen Haney out there to keep that in front of him.
That double was a Winterburn and Associates base hit for Estrada, by the way. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch from Richardson. In their first strike, 1-2.
Good pitch. I thought I caught the outside corner of the plate. Another good job there by Haney, able to frame that pitch right there on the outside.
So can Richardson put him away here with a 1-2 count? Rounder. Ooh, and Blaylock fires to first for the out. And what a play it was. Blaylock, kind of a tough hop there, but able to field it cleanly, fires to Lee for the out. And that will do it for the 4th inning. 9-1, though, your National League score here in the Game 7 of the Little League All-Star Classic. We'll be back after a 1-minute timeout, and that that inning break will be brought to you by First Realty Group here on Pulaski Citizen Live.
For over 50 years, PES Energize has been proudly powering our community in Pulaski and Giles County, Tennessee. We're more than just an electric utility. We also offer internet and phone services. Our commitment to our customers and our community is what sets us apart. We're dedicated to providing safe, reliable, and innovative services. At PES Energize, we believe that serving you is a privilege. We're here for all your energy needs. Visit PESenergize.com or call us today.
The Natural Gas Department of Pulaski is here to help you save money. Natural gas is safe, efficient, and cost-effective. It's up to 50 to 60% less expensive than electricity for home heating. Plus, it's clean and efficient, so you can feel good about your choice. Call us today for service or visit our website to learn more. Make the switch to natural gas and start saving today.
And we're back here. Thanks again for that inning break from First Realty Group, as 9-1 is your score. National League leads it. Kason Stout heads back out for his 5th inning of work here in the top of the 5th, as the American League needs to start a comeback, and they need to do it soon. They only have 6 outs to work with here in regulation.
Yeah, shout out to Blaylock there. He's been moved over from second base to shortstop, has made 2 great plays. Edwards has a lot of speed, but able to just use his arm, fire that one on a rope just to get him out of that inning. And then, like you said, that takes away the mercy rule here. So, Stout is sitting here with 64 pitches with 6 outs that they need. This could get interesting if the American League can somehow get to Stout in this inning and start to get into this pitch count and maybe put some runs up on the board.
I'll tell you, though, how much has the National League pitching, not pitching staff, but I guess the coaching staff who are calling the pitchers been vindicated by that move to play Garcia in game 1? Because I was like, oh, you're burning him. And what happens if Stout doesn't go deep? But you go in, you win that must-win elimination game with Garcia, and now you have Stout, who has been very, very efficient in this game.
Yeah, and just think, Garcia came in and pitched very, very well to end that game. It ended up going to multiple extra innings. And it's one of those things where you think about it, you had to win that game.
Yeah.
And yeah, the American League did get up 1 run. They were able to fight back and then go to another inning and things like that. But maybe it would have been more than 1 run and they wouldn't have been in this position than they're in now.
Absolutely. 1-1 count. Yeah, that game earlier that went to extra innings was the first extra inning game of this series. But every single game to this point has been decided by 4 runs or less. Now this one, 9-1 as of right now, but still time for the American League, as it's a 2-1 count to Reisner versus Stout.
Yeah, Stout, first time he seems to get a little bit down. This is his 5th inning out there. It's 3-1. I don't think he has a walk this entire. No, he has 1. He has 1 walk this entire game, and that was to Jackson, his first at bat.
Yeah.
But fights back, full count here. This is going to be huge pitch for them. And
strike 3 looking. That's a McDonald's strikeout for Stout, his 70th pitch of the night.
Yeah, that's huge because, if he ends up walking the batter there, now you got the runner on. You threw, 6 pitches, and you didn't get anything out of it except they got a runner. And Jackson, speaking of Jackson, does have the only walk on his first at bat as he swings for strike 1.
So 8 strikeouts. Will he be able to reach that fabled 11 strikeouts that you saw from Starling the other night? I honestly, if they could score 2 runs in the bottom inning, he wouldn't be able to because
right, it's the 5th inning.
It would be the ball game. And so potentially a chance for National League to walk it off for the championship in this inning, but a chance for the American League. If they could put up 2 or 3 runs this inning, suddenly you start thinking about, hey, you get Stout out of the game, and then offensively, maybe some things open up. Maybe you have a chance to erase an 8-run deficit. They were down 12-4 the other night and got it back within 13-11. And so they've shown they can come back in this situation.
I think a lot of that, too, is going to be, can they start seeing Stout? Can they start hitting them? Jackson's at bat here is huge because, you get 2 outs. And even though he's throwing 74 pitches right now, it's going to be hard to get him to 85, especially the way that the National League's been hitting the ball lately.
1-2. Here's the pitch. This one popped. Ooh, it nearly caught, but not quite by Edwards. And now it's going to be a bang-bang play, safe. And I'm going to call that an infield single. Would you agree?
Do the same. Absolutely. I was just about to say, because that was a tough catch. Shout out to Edwards for sticking with it and still almost getting him out. But another shout out to Jackson out there. A lot of times you can think, oh, he's going to catch that, and you don't run as hard. He ran as hard as he could all the way to first. And so I believe that deserves to be a single.
That's a Winterburn and Associates base hit for Jackson and the American League.
And that's what we were just talking about. It starts with base hits, starts with base runners. You now got 76 pitches on Stout, and he is only got 9 left.
That one is inside 2-0. Like we said, to this point, still no one has gone a complete game yet in this series. And Stout probably won't hear unless he gets these 2 outs here and gets a complete game via the mercy rule.
And Richardson's, he's the opposite pitcher up to bat right now. And the best thing you can do is help yourself out. Get another base runner on, whether it be by a walk, whether it be by a base hit. But you need to get 2 on here and get deeper into this count.
2-1.
I mean, it's pitch count.
2-2.
But there comes Stout again. He hasn't been behind many batters all day. I think he did walk Jackson at one time. I think he only had maybe a 3-2 count one other time, and he was able to get out of that inning with a strikeout out of that bat.
And there is a swinging Well,
So I'm guessing that is a foul ball.
yeah. We don't have a great vantage point, especially because I'm 5'6".
Well, you also would expect to see one of these, where they
Yeah.
throw their hands up to show that it's foul.
This one grounded up the middle. That's going to be a Winterburn and Associates Insurance base hit. Ooh, that actually pops up and hits off the face there. I believe that's Benton out in left center, but he's no worse for wear, and that's going to be another base hit for the American League. And suddenly, if Ryder puts one to the wall here, maybe you get a couple more hits this inning, get within 9-4. Anything could happen.
Absolutely, especially with Stout at 81 pitches right now. He may not make it through this batter. I mean, you get 3 strikeouts. If he needs to throw 3 straight strikes if he wants to do that.
This one grounded. That's going to be a tough play there. Looks like they want the fielder's choice. No one's really there at first, but luckily for the National League, a couple guys get there, and Davis ends up making the fielder's choice play. And so that is now 2 outs, 82 pitches. They'll go ahead and let Stout finish once he gets to 85, but that'll probably be his last at-bat.
Yeah, unfortunate there for the American League. Very unfortunate. I think that was one of those things where the ball got hit and didn't know to go immediately run over to third, and the ball got behind the third baseman Edwards. Heads-up play, another heads-up play there. Able to look over and not try to force a ball to first, not try to force anything over to first base. Was able to look and wait and notice that Jackson hasn't fully left the bag yet, and was able to allow them to get back over to third base and get that force out. So now you got 2 outs, and Stout, if he can get out of this at bat right here with, I think it's Swanner up to bat.
But Swanner could do some work here and turn over the lineup, and then anything could happen. And so,
100%. I mean, this is a massive at bat. If Swanner can find a way to get on base here, you have the top of the lineup up, and they have to take Stout out.
indeed, he'll watch 2 pitches, since that means that this next one will be the 85th. This will be Stout's last batter of the night, but what a night it has been. He's made a very, very good case for player of the game, brought to you by McDonald's. Davis has made a good case for it. We'll have some tough decisions to make here, as that's going to be a swinging strike, 2-1.
Absolutely. You want to almost give Blaylock the defensive player again for his stuff he's done, but, I mean, Garcia's played a heck of a job over there at second base. As Stout pulls this even now, deuces all over the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs.
So this would be, if he could get this strikeout here, it'd only be his 9th of the night, but still, I think that would be the second best we've seen this series.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just a stellar performance by Stout, no matter what happens with this batter.
And indeed, that will be his 9th McDonald's strikeout of the night to end the top of the 5th inning. And so the National League needs 2 runs to take it home and win Game 7 here in the bottom of the inning. We'll be back after a quick timeout. You're listening to the Giles County Little League All-Star Classic here on Pulaski Citizen Live.
The Natural Gas Department of Pulaski is here to help you save money. Natural gas is safe, efficient, and cost-effective. It's up to 50 to 60% less expensive than electricity for home heating. Plus, it's clean and efficient, so you can feel good about your choice. Call us today for service or visit our website to learn more. Make the switch to natural gas and start saving today.
Southern Tennessee Regional Health System. Pulaski is here to help you be well. Our mission is to make our community healthier, and we're your community hospital. We're committed to providing trusted care when you need it most. From wellness checks to emergencies, we're here for you and your family. Visit us today at southerntennessee.com or call 931-363-7531.
And we're back here for the bottom of the 5th inning here on Pulaski Citizen Live. Once again, you're listening to the Giles County Little League All-Star Classic, brought to you by title sponsor Haney Realty and Property Management, your best friend in real estate. 9-1 is your score here in the 5th, and Richardson heads back out to the mound. But some guys who will be trying to end it early here with an 8-run lead is Nate Edwards, Rhett Dooley, and Ryan Benton.
Yeah, Nate Edwards has a RBI single in the first at bat and a walk at his second at bat. And like you said, I mean, Stout put him in the chance to win this game as he ropes that one to left field.
Oh, and that one's going to get all the way to the wall. and so almost got stuck under the wall, but Edwards will have a stand-up double, which is a Winterburn and Associates Insurance base hit for his team.
Just absolutely smoked that ball. Saw one he wanted to see. And hey, if you want to get the mercy rule in play here, that's how you do it. You're a leadoff hitter, get them in scoring position, try to get them around. You need at least one more base runner, and then you could start playing small ball or getting the ball down. Dooley, who last time struck out looking, has a ground out to second base on his first at bat. So he is 0 for 2 on the day.
I'll tell you, though, you can just tell the difference in the two teams right now based on body language. The fact that the American League, they're kind of apprehensive. They look a little bit defeated. In the National League, they're just having fun now after coming all the way back down from 3-0 in the series. This one grounded to third. Ooh, that kind of takes a difficult hop there, and that's going to be an E5 for the American League. Well, honestly, that would be tough to throw him out. What do you want to call it?
I'm going to call it a single. I think that would have been tough.
Fine. Let's call it a single.
And it was a really tough bounce on him, hard hit ball. But just shout out to Nate Edwards. Yeah. I don't know if it was also the coach noticing it, but Reiser, when that ball hopped, he turned around and looked. They noticed that he wasn't guarding third base, and they were very aggressive on the base paths. And you can do that with a 8-run lead. Yeah. But able to get him over in scoring position just on something like that. I mean, that ball was literally right behind third base, and they're able to stretch that runner over third. So just shout out to Edwards, shout out to third base coach for being very aggressive there and noticing that nobody was covering third and able to take that base.
And that ball low there gets away for a moment, and that will move the winning run to second base.
Yeah, Benton had a RBI fielder's choice his last time at bat and reached on the air his first time. So, anything hit over there is kind of what you want to see. And another ball in play will probably score a run here as long as it's not like a fly ball to the infield.
2-0 count. 3-0.
And, if you're the National League, getting bases loaded, no outs would be massive, massive here.
This one grounded. I think that one's probably going. Oh, but what a play there. Lee has to step up for it, but Blaylock, as deep in the hole as you can possibly be, and Steele fields it cleanly and fires a long one there. That's still going to be an infield single, and that's going to score one run. And now with no outs, it seems all but inevitable that Rhett Dooley is going to find a way to score here and win this one via the mercy rule.
Yeah, Maddox Wells put it out to right field on a fly ball. We get one of those again. That could end this game. But major shout out there to Blaylock at shortstop. I think that Lee on first honestly thought that was a base hit because I don't know if he ever covered the bag. As that one goes through the hole.
That's your ball game, folks.
And
that will do it for the series as 11-1 is your score. And everyone looks around. Are they going to indeed say ball game? There's the clapping, and there is the call. As the National League comes back from a 3-0 deficit with an RBI base hit from Maddox Wells. And so they were down 3-0. They came back and won game 4 after being down 2-0 in the last inning. They found a way to hold on after blowing almost an 8-run lead in game 5. Game 6, they needed a run down in extra innings. And now game 7, they just blew it wide open with a 10-run mercy rule.
I mean, shout out to the National League. Shout out to both teams. I mean, hard-fought games. It is sad that the 7th game didn't end up being closer, and it was the first mercy rule game, unfortunately. But just shout out to both these teams. Shout out to the National League for not wanting to quit, not laying down, knowing they was down 3-0. Like they said, now they can call themselves the 0-3-0-4 Red Sox when they get home because they're like, we did the same thing.
Absolutely. And so actually, because there are two guys who really are very deserving, I'm actually going to let you choose who we end up calling for McDonald's Player of the Game. Well, who do you think, Adam?
That's funny. I almost have a 1A and a 1B for both of them. I mean,
I will say, because we chose the whole team in game 1, I'm going to make you pick one person.
We can't do, and I will do that because I do think there was two players that stood out. Basically, Stout was player of the game. Stout was player of the game. You don't win a mercy rule 25-15.
Yeah.
So him being able to keep one run on the board the entire game, get the last out on his last pitches in order to give them a chance to come out here and get the mercy rule in the bottom of the inning, it has to be Stout for player of the game. Shout out to Denton Davis for having a great game and hitting that home run. But if you look up and down the lineup for the National League, they were all putting the ball in play. They were all hitting the ball hard. They definitely came out here in the 7th game looking to swing the bat, looking to get on base, and they did a great job doing that.
Absolutely. And then for our defensive player of the game,
I guess it's got to be Garcia
Yeah.
because there's an 11-1 game, but this
Yeah.
is another one that's even closer. I almost want to give it to Blaylock again. He is
Yeah.
just such a good defender out there. He made so many good plays, and even a shout out to Ty Edwards out there.
Yeah.
He made a lot of heads up plays, backing up third, making some hard outs, things like that. But I think it has to go to Garcia. What do you think?
And I agree. Your Pulaski Natural Gas defensive player of the game goes to Gilberto Garcia. Your McDonald's player of the game goes to Cason Stout, who had technically the complete game victory there, if I'm not mistaken, as he did end it on that strikeout as he threw 5 innings and didn't need to go out there for a 6th because they took the 10-run lead for the Mercy Rule. So, Adam, just, I only know you only got to be here for 2 of the 7 games, but just kind of what are your thoughts? I know you've been incredibly involved in baseball in this county for a long time because of your kids. And so just what are your kind of thoughts from what you got to see here tonight?
First off, I do find it ironic that we ended this game. You haven't seen a Mercy Rule or a complete game, and both happened in Game 7. That's wild. But what I've seen here is I love it. I love what I see here. I see these kids coming out here and playing their guts out and trying as hard as they can, learning on the field. It was very welcoming to all. There wasn't a lot of drama out there. Everybody was getting better. You could see the improvement. These kids can play baseball, and doing things like this just makes them better. And I've loved what I've seen. It's been a long time since I've been back out to this park, and I'm just elated. I want to just come back out here now and just watch games during the season next year. I mean, it's just been a pleasure to come back out here. Thank you again for inviting me out here to come see it, because nostalgia is always great, and it's good to just see something like this again. And it just made me happy. It made me happy for everybody. I think all the kids should be proud of themselves. They should all hold their heads up high, and they should all go home and know that they put out an entertaining product today. It doesn't matter who watched this game. It doesn't matter if you don't know anything, if you don't even like Pulaski. If you watch these kids today, you would be very proud of them, and you would have been entertained.
Absolutely. So, Adam, it was so great. This has been an interesting series from a broadcast perspective because we've had Wade, Chandler, myself, Trent Maxwell, and now you, as I say. So we've actually had a lot of voices on the air, and I mean, there's a lot more to come too. And so we're looking forward to football, and we're just looking forward to what comes next.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to, and I can't thank you enough for letting me join you. It's always a pleasure being out here with you. Always a pleasure.
Absolutely. So thanks to all of our sponsors, and a special shout out to our title sponsor, Haney Realty and Property Management, your best friend in real estate. And so a big shout out to all those who helped produce us, whether that be Chandler Harmon, Scott Stewart, or Carrie Malone listening diligently at home. A big shout out to Wade Neely and, all the folks who made this happen in terms of the voices on the air as well. And a shout out to the coaches and the kids and the fans who just made this a fun experience. Remember, if you enjoy what you hear here on Pulaski Citizen Live, the number one thing you can do, or actually, I guess in this time, not only what you hear, but what you see, because we were able to video stream this. Best thing you can do for us is, tell a friend about this opportunity to hear about some of the best and brightest young athletes in the county. But winning the series 4-3 is the National League, and winning tonight's game 11-1 is that National League squad. So for Chandler Harmon, Scott Stewart, Wade Neely, and Adam Hansen, I'm Mark Mize saying thank you and good night.